Hello there my music lovers, I'm Josh from Audiophile Heaven and today we are having a look at iBasso It01X. This is the latest EM from their entry line series. This is priced at about $120 without taxes and VAT. And as you can see, it comes in a much more colorful box than the original It01S and It01. So let's get down with the unboxing. It comes in a yellow box and the EMs are blue, tons of colors from the guys at iBasso. It comes with the same carrying case as you've seen with the It01 and It01S. This is the same as HiFiMan's RA2000, so it has the same carrying case as the $2,000 EMs. Pretty cool stuff. It comes with some paperwork inside the package. There is a little pocket here with paperwork, which you can analyze for yourself if you'd like. You get the typical warranty card and the manual for the It01X. Most of the important information is also available on the box. They have a single dynamic driver, 10mm inside. They have a 16 ohms of impedance, which is very low, so they may be a bit prone to hissing, although I have not heard the tone of hissing with them. And they have a somewhat low CPL at 108 decibels. That semi-low CPL, it is not low, but it is semi-low, means that you will need something with a bit more power to drive them properly and to make them go loud. They can take a beating well, so you can use your best amplifiers, your best DAPs, and they are okay driven from a smartphone. This is the EM, the in-ear monitor, the earphone, the iBasso It01X. I'll place it around my neck and they come with tons and tons of tips. There is a set of spare filters included in the package. If your original ones get clogged with wax or other debris, they come with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of extra tips. So this is one of the most rich packages. You can see at $120. It is better than most $500 EMs in terms of package and in terms of presentation. The EMs are extremely light, very small, very tiny as you can see, which makes them one of the most comfortable EMs I have ever tested in my entire life. You can only wear the iBasso It01X over the ear, you can't wear them straight down, but that shouldn't be a big issue because they have an extremely small body. They have zero driver flex, which is absolutely outstanding. iBasso used to have some driver flex. They have detachable cables based on the MMSIX connector, so they can turn inside their sockets like this. And the default tips actually sound pretty cool. I actually have not tried the It01X with extra tips. I am very satisfied with the white tips that are included with them. The cable is ended in a 3.5mm jack, which means single head and only, no more 2.5mm and an adapter. On the other hand, the cable is very high quality, very similar to the one that comes with the It01S, pretty much the same cable. The sound changed a bit. If you are curious about that, we'll get to that in a moment. And the EMs actually feel like one of the best EMs in the entire world. They offer between 20 and 25 decibels of passive noise isolation, which is outstanding. I really love having a ton of passive noise isolation, and they leak nada. My girlfriend Haru was sitting right next to me at this very computer and I was blasting some death metal in my ears at about 100 decibels and she could not hear a whisper. This is how silent the It01S has been in my experience. So I'm pretty satisfied. Of course, the hum of my air conditioner may add to that because it gives some background noise. It is summer in Romania. We need to keep the air conditioner turned on at every single minute because otherwise we fry. It01X is built with a ton of attention to details. They are made of plastic, but iBasso uses something like the metallic paint that is used for cars on them. Actually, I was analyzing them and I did not scratch them, which is a surprise because, as you know, I went with them in the park. If you read my full written review, you'll see that I did not baby them at all. Now, the sound of the It01X is pretty cool. They are a bass head EM with a ton of bass, a delicious type of presentation with a very satisfying low end, a ton of impact, a ton of resolution, very good details, and a ton of dynamics. You see, at this price point, you can't really get something that is too awesome. I mean, it's $120. This is the price point where you typically get very entry-level EMs. But iBasso always delivered on their promises. They always delivered something that was incredibly good for the price. I would say that the It01X is actually comparable to the FIO FA7, which is much more expensive at about $300, but their sounds are actually somewhat comparable. I mean, there have been some years in between, but yeah, iBasso is quickly catching up with FIO, and that is something to take into account if you plan on purchasing some EMs. The cable is long enough for most people. It runs from my ear to way more than my pocket, so you shouldn't have problems running or jogging with them. They are extremely comfortable, so they will not slip out of your ears, which is important to me. And sometimes I have realized that I'm sacrificing some sound for comfort. This is because when sitting at a computer and keeping the same EM in my ears for 10 hours in a row, for example, I actually need them to be very comfortable. I don't need an EM that just sounds good. I need something that both sounds good and is comfortable. And iBasso It01X actually delivers on that. You look pretty hip and cool while wearing them. And I would say that if you are a bass head, there is hardly any other EM I could recommend that also has a natural mid-range and a pretty clear and crystalline treble. The treble of the It01X is a bit uplifted above the mid-range and above what I would call neutral, so you end up with a sound that is a bit V-shaped and maybe a bit too peppy for some. I've noticed some reviewers calling them a bit too aggressive in the treble, which I don't really resonate with. I think that they are very even in the treble. I actually have been feeling like they are too tame for me. I would have appreciated even more resolution, even more detail, even more sparkle in the treble. I love a ton of treble and I love a very sparkly top end like the unique Melody 3D Martians. That was very good for my tastes. Also, iBasso IT04 was quite happy with the treble. Their AM5 is interesting too, and iBasso actually started to have a pretty healthy line of EMs and earphones, which is cool. They also have their headphones, the SR2, which I reviewed on Audiophile Heaven as well. And all in all, I would say that It01X is pretty much the best price-performance ratio you can get around this price point. You could get some KZEMs at the same price, or Knowledge Zenith, which are some very cheap entry-level chi-fi, but usually KZEMs have a ton of issues sonically. They usually have a very sudden but deep, so they have a ton of the mid-range scooped out, so they tend to sound quite unnatural compared to the It01X, which sound pretty natural. I mean, to my ears, they are perfect. They have a delicious amount of bass, which I consider important in the entry-level price range, because most people just getting into the audiophile hobby are actually bass heads. I actually started as a bass head and I'm starting to roast myself as a bass head now too. I found myself enjoying a ton of bass lately. I mean, I have a subwoofer for my speaker system and I tend to really enjoy having some lows. Even in my car, I tend to pump up some of that bass. I finally changed my car, guys. I finally am not driving a Dacia Logan anymore. And that is important. That actually made me very happy. With your help, if you try and if you can contribute to Audiophile Heaven, if you can donate a dime, if you can purchase using my affiliate links, you are helping me a lot. And especially with your emotional support, because commenting, liking this video is very important to me. I was able to actually finally make a move and change my very old dusty Dacia Logan. You can actually see the background of my Dacia Logan in many reviews because I used to place products on top of it to take the photos and to take B-rolls because it's quite cool. You will probably see that it was quite rusty, quite old, and it was slowly going out, it was slowly dying. But now I'm happy to say that on Audiophile Heaven, I might actually eventually end up doing a car review on my new car. And I'll keep the make and the type of the car a surprise. I'll let you actually guess in the comments. If you guess correctly, I would actually accept that and I will let you know. I'm curious who gets it right. And as I was saying, I do enjoy the It01X a lot. This is the EM of my dreams, and if I had this when I started my audiophile journey, my music journey, because before everything I love music. For being an audiophile, before doing reviews, I just love music and I enjoy music from the bottom of my heart. And if I had those when I started my journey, I would probably have had a much leaner increase in quality, because this is so satisfying. I don't really feel the need to upgrade from them as much as I did with the EMs I was having back in my youth. Back in my youth, I had some Pioneer, some Yamaha EMs, totally don't remember the name, but they sounded quite terrible. Both of them had issues, sonically at least. And at the end of the day, if you end up with the iBasso It01X, you won't feel the need to upgrade, you won't feel the need to change, you'll just feel the need to enjoy more music. I hope this video has been enjoyable to watch. I hope you loved spending time on Audiophile Heaven. I hope you'll consider leaving a like on this video, Also press subscribe for more awesome content. If you can, please donate at least a dime. It really helps me out. I have a PayPal link in the video description, and don't forget to use my affiliate links in the video description if purchasing the products I do recommend, because I earn something. The price is usually the same or even lower because I do get some sales and I try to share that fun with you. Some companies do, and even Amazon does offer me some sales, and sometimes my prices are slightly lower than the ones you see on Amazon without the affiliate link. And I do hope that I am helping you out. I do hope that you are having a blast in there. I hope you'll keep having the most awesome week you ever had, and I hope we'll see each other really soon. Bye bye.